whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today, but if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace.
Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you are blessed and doing safe. Tonight on Gavin Richard Presents, we will be discussing Sunny Hostin and Anna Navarro get an apology from The View, Lil Nas X album's flops, and also we'll be talking about this TikTok video. It's not breaking, that was a typo. FedEx employee gets canned for refusing to deliver packages to BLM marked homes. I'll explain that a little bit later. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Whoever you are, wherever you are, again, I hope you're blessed and doing safe. I would also like to welcome our new subscribers, as well as especially from last night's video. Thank you all for watching and supporting our channel. If you would like to further support this channel, again, you can look and subscribe to the Patreon link at the bottom. You can also look for my email and this link at gavin.grich1@gmail.com. If you would like to advertise, if you're a Black-owned business, we would like to do business with you and promote your content and your business. Also, if you would like to, please, if you have not, check out my Creole Seasoning Blends company, nonniescreoleblends.com. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nonnies goes great with every dish. You can also check out my latest single. As you know, I'm in music, Video Soul. It's our latest release. But also, before we get on down, we got to get on up. I know I said I wasn't going to do a show tonight after I did the live stream yesterday with R. Kelly, but I had to come on and holler at my people for a minute. So let us get started. But of course, before we get on down, we got to get on up. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let us play that old familiar tune.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, because on the dance floor is where we'll meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the. Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so baby, let's start dealing. Sometimes to get this party started, ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up. Get the bus down, under the button up, baby. It's really up to you. I'm feeling it, baby. I'm feeling it. Now, 2020 hasn't been the best year of all time. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe, then you achieve. And so, if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? One and two, 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up and move your body. 'Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the floor, baby. Yeah, gotta get on the floor, baby. Come on, baby, gotta get on the floor, baby. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Feel the groove, get on the floor, gotta get on up, ladies and gentlemen. That was our jam. As always, how we start the show. What's up, everybody? Welcome to channel GBoot2786 on Gavin Richard, my backup channel. And if you're watching via Facebook, well, nobody's watching via Facebook from what I see, but who knows? They mess with the algorithm and the views all the time. But anyway, if you are watching, wherever you are, I hope you're blessed again and doing safe. We are I'm gonna try and keep this whole thing not as a 2-hour show or under that, because I want to get back to watching my movies. But I had to holler at the family and come on tonight. Shout out to some people. I see Davita Jenkins, Cheryl Bryant, Computer as always. He's in the building. Let me ask you. Well, speaking of movies, I just want to ask, who is excited? Just curious. I want to know if anybody's a Marvel fan. Are you all interested in seeing the Venom movie that's coming out? I know on Thursday night, Friday this week. If you're excited about that, you got a couple of movies too. They also have the Sopranos movie, The Many Saints of Newark, that's coming out on HBO Max and on at the theaters at the movie. Who is interested in watching that? I don't know if people that followed the Sopranos when they were on HBO. I did. That may be an interesting movie. Of course, Computer Robots. I know you would see the Venom movie. I may actually see it too. I'm thinking about taking me and my lady to go see it, make a little date night, and go see that. After all, I've had to watch stuff. You know, people say, "Well, you're gonna take your girl to see comic book movie?" Yeah, why not? What else they got out there? I don't know anything else. I don't know any other damn movies. I mean, the movie theaters today have been hit hard by the pandemic, of course, so everything has gotten pushed back. This movie was pushed back. And I know that they actually pushed James Bond back. I'm interested in seeing it. They say the movie is, which makes it the shortest movie in the Marvel universe. I think it's not lame. We can go ahead. I would definitely go see it. Probably go see it tomorrow. Then we won't have to, if we can. And shout busy typing. But yeah, shout out to Sean for being on the show yesterday. That was real good. I was real happy that he was able to come on and talk about the R. Kelly case. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go see it, and I'll probably do a review. I think I'm gonna actually create another channel where I do movie reviews. I think that would be great. How does that sound? Just something separate. That way, I know at least I can get monetized on that one. You say you're ready for Halloween Kills? That's coming out on Peacock. I want to see that. About Halloween, I don't like how Halloween was a good movie, the one that came out in 2018, but I certainly didn't like. I like the model and story of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode being brother and sister. Like, I was never against that, and I know when John Carpenter wrote that Halloween 2 was not a bad movie. I'm not talking about the Ron Zombie shit. I'm talking about Rob Zombie, whatever he is. Rob Zombie stuff. I'm talking about the old Halloween. John Carpenter was still involved in those movies. That wasn't a bad movie. Halloween 2. Halloween 4 wasn't even a bad movie. It got bad when they started to do Halloween 5 and even that season of the Witch movie, Halloween 3, which a lot of people don't talk about, where it went south. The 80s and 90s really were the last peak of the horror movies. Like, straight up horror scared you. Nowadays, everybody knows what's going to happen with these slasher movies. Some teenagers or some 20-somethings about to go and have sex in the woods. The deformed mental serial killer is going to kill them. Chops them up with a machete or a chainsaw, one of the two. So it really depends. But anyway, let's get into what we're talking about. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll probably do a review on Venom. And you guys, again, y'all subscribe to my Patreon account because I might set it up there where we can do it there. This is the Patreon link at the bottom. And also, if you would like to donate to the channel tonight, you can hit me up right there. As always, I have the link on there. So let's get into the story. Yeah, same with the Child's Play series. Child's Play, they actually have the TV series coming out, and I looked at it, and of course, there's going to be the guy who created Don Mancini. He's creating a TV series. He's written all of the films. And of course, I've already noticed in looking at the Child's Play series, I like the series. Don't get me wrong, but of course they've thrown in the agenda, if you know what I'm talking about. And speaking of agenda, I guess we'll start with him tonight. Lil Nas X, a little Miss Nas X album flops. I have that in question marks because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking here. This is coming courtesy of, see if I get this right. Premier Herald. Now, it says here, Lil Nas X's album being referred to as a flop fails to attain number 1. Now, we all remember what Lil Nas X, we all know what Lil Nas X, I'm not going to go into everything, but of course, about a week ago, he actually appeared on The Breakfast Club and was asked by your DJ Envy about him being a role model for kids and how parents are upset about how he, of course, working on the devil, his behavior just to sell records has just been rancid. And he said, and I quote, "Fuck your kids." So now, since Lil Nas X has said, "Fuck your kids," apparently the parents and of these children, as well as others who are just fed up with his buck-breaking behavior, has said, "No, fuck you." And he has not he did not pick up the number 1 spot according to Billboard. So all of the promotion that he has done, if you read the title of this article, start of this article, it says Lil Nas X did a lot of surprising promotion, and that's putting the stretch for his new album. That folks had been positive the album was going to succeed in the Billboard #1, but apparently he only had the equivalent. His album Montero bought 126,000 whole album equivalent models, whereas Drake's Licensed Lover Boy, that's Drake's recent album, bought 171,000 this final week and has been on the prime spot for 3 straight weeks. And he tweeted, just want to say thank you again to everyone who gave my album a listen. So many people said I wouldn't have a career after 2019, and now I have one of the biggest albums for the year. Love you guys, and I do not take that for granted. Well, notice what they did when they followed it up. They said, after dropping movies from The Observe, the rapper was placed on blast by Boosie Badass greater than as soon as who's over. I don't know who wrote this article, but it's crap. Who's overtly homophobic. Of course, they had to throw that out. And the thing about this, and I think this sends a message, is that people are not happy about having these agendas forced on everyone. And I just see DeAndre. What's up, DeAndre? Don't Breathe was a great horror film. I won't lie. If we're talking about the first one, yeah, that was interesting take in the horror genre. They said you're absolutely right with DeVita. Fuck your music. Well, here's the thing. He said Drake's Lover Boy is really a boy lover. Drake is not even, to me, I don't consider him a traditional singer. He's not. They've just created a whole new different genre where they put out some nice beats, and he have semi-sings and partly raps, but because they have no singers of the caliber of a Whitney Houston or entertainers of a Michael Jackson or artists of a Prince anymore, this is what we're forced to deal with. Of course, you have your Bruno Mars, who's left, who's, I guess, a R&B singer. They put him in R&B, but, he is not a down R&B singer like we're talking about Anita Baker. She's an R&B singer. Jill Scott is an R&B singer, and black artists are being replaced by non-black artists as of today, and there's a reason behind that. And most especially now, even the black artists we have, they are buck broken, like your Lil Nas X, who's not really a rapper. His music, the music in general, and this is not just about Nas X, but music in general in today's era is garbage. His music is garbage. But music today is not what it was in the 80s and 90s when we were all coming up. When you actually had to go in to a record store, and buy an album, buy a CD, or a cassette, and they could track it. Nowadays, everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has a computer. It's easy to just go ahead and stream the album on Spotify. And remember, they tried to do this fake debate with Drake versus Michael Jackson about how, everybody tries to compare legends for the day. You can't compare legends from back then to today. You can't compare legends. You're welcome, computer robots. You can't compare those legends from back then to today because they have no peer. When Michael Jackson was doing what he did to sell 200 million albums, like Thriller being the biggest selling album of all time, they say 67 million. I doubt that. That's just the official sales certificate that they have. What he did was unprecedented because you actually had to go into a store and buy the record. Or like my parents had back in the day, they used to have a man that would come around the neighborhood with a truck. And when he would stop in the neighborhood, the kids would go up to him with their 50 cents and go and buy an album. as many albums as they want. If the Temptations came out with a new album, that was the one that Berry Gordy and those guys, they pressed in the media and did all their advertisement and hype for it. The kids went out and bought those albums. Well, it was the Miracles, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, the Supremes, whoever. Same thing with Philadelphia Soul. You go on a record shop and you go buy that. People actually waited in line to buy Michael's albums. Purple Rain, people actually went into the store to buy a vinyl, to buy Purple Rain. And vinyl, believe it or not, is starting to make in the last few years, it started to make a comeback. I actually bought my dad the 1999 and the Purple Rain album. Was available right at Dillard's. I bought that for him. By the way, speaking of music, today is the 45th anniversary of Songs in the Key of Life being released. Shout out to my man, Dwan Brown, who pointed this out. This is the anniversary of Songs in the Key of Life being released. Songs in the Key of Life is arguably one of the greatest albums of all time, written by one of the greatest songwriters and artists of our time in Stevie Wonder. I think between Songs in the Key of Life and What's Going On, I always thought it's a toss-up between What's Going On and Songs in the Key of Life being the number one album of all time. Now, I wasn't around when Purple Rain came out. That was in 84. I was born in 86. So by the time I was a baby, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, all of those artists were already at the top of their game. Yeah, I remember that episode where Stevie Wonder was on the Cosby Show. Yeah, they got in a car accident with Stevie Wonder and he invited him to the studio. That was huge. That was big. And they saying, I just called to say I love you. Yeah, I liked all of that. Yeah, stuff like that doesn't happen anymore. When you go in a studio, when Stevie Wonder went into a studio in the 80s, which he was still at his prime, you knew magic was going to happen. When Michael Jackson's music video debuted, the Remember the Time video, I'll never forget that was shut down on major networks. 3 major networks were shut down so he could premiere the video. I think MTV, BET, and Fox. And that was big. He was the only man that can get an entire country to shut down and go to the TV outside the president of the United States. That's power. And Lil Nas X ain't got it. Look like a freaking crow. Ugly motherfucker. I don't like him. I'm sorry. He could be gay all he wants. I don't like somebody that first off has no talent and then has such a big head. And he forgets where he came from. Forgets the fact that we looked out for him. Remember when Country Music Award, I believe it was the Country Music Awards, wouldn't even put his song into one of the categories, the award ceremonies. They didn't consider it country when he teamed up with Billy Ray Cyrus. They didn't want it. He's not a rapper. He's something else. That's what he is. If they had a category for something else, like I support, we always support these people, and then they throw and turn shit on us. They throw shit back at us. But his album flopped, and that's to send good. Hopefully it'll send a message. People are not going to be supporting us. And parents, you took a stand. Take a stand. You control what your kids listen to. There was stuff as a kid I wasn't allowed to listen to. I wasn't allowed to watch. Now you want to take it. It's interesting how I could watch RoboCop but I couldn't watch John Claude Van Damme having sex in Double Impact. My mom would put her hand over my face when that was come on, but hey, I could see RoboCop shoot somebody in the balls or see his hand get blown off. Yeah, when they don't need you anymore, they throw your ass away. Throw you right in the garbage can. But parents take control. But yeah, but this whole thing, I'm glad. Yeah, it's a flop. So good. Now, let's move on because, like I said, I'm trying to keep it under an hour. We got a lot of people in the building. Shout out to you. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. If you like this channel, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that share. Also, hit that notification bell so when we go live, you'll know, because some people are not getting their notifications. Oh, see, long tone son. Yeah, you. Yeah. I even told my mom, I was 5 years old. I was like, are they finished yet? I knew what was going on. I had idea something was going on. Remember when your mom would put her hand over your face and you try and look through the cracks of the fingers to see what was going on? That's exactly what it was. So anyway, let's move on, guys. Yeah, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Also donate to the Cash App at the bottom, please. Channel is not monetized, so any support you give is appreciated. I'm gonna go ahead and deal with this one. So this happened earlier today, where Sonny Hostin and Anna Navarro got an apology from The View. Now, what happened, and I guess I can say this without getting my channel shut down, is that on this past week, on Friday, Sonny Houston and Anna Navarro. I don't watch The View. I think The View is bullshit. But Anna Navarro and Sonny Hostin were on this past Friday. Were on The View. They were the hosts, and as soon as the live broadcast came on, their producers pulled them away because they tested positive for COVID. That was what they said. And what ended up happening, they were supposed to interview the Vice President, Kamala Harris. Now, the interview wasn't even a face-to-face. They never came in contact with the Vice President. I think they had her in another room, or it was virtual. And Sonny Houston and Anna Navarro were called away. Now, it turns out they did not have COVID-19, despite the fact that they all were vaccinated. And earlier today, Joy Behar had announced that they were all given numerous COVID tests. And I'm thrilled to report that Sonny and Anna's results turned out to be a false positive. That does happen. Now, I want to claim, before I play this clip, I'm going to try and, try and get some of Sonny's reporting and the producer. That's the producer from The View. And that's Anna Navarro. I don't care for shows like The View, The Talk or anything, because, it's like listening to a bunch of quackling ducks. If you listen to it, they talk BS. I remember, and I had my issues with Sonny because I remember she was saying some slick. I remember her, Whoopi, and all those threw Bill Cosby under the bus. So, well, yeah, I'm going to get to that, PD Chicago, because I'm going to get to that in a little bit, but let's put that fair use disclaimer. Can some of my mods who are here, where is Rosalind? Does anybody know? I have not seen Rosalind in a while, but let's put that fair use disclaimer in, fair use, that while I do not own the content of this video, it is being used for purposes of commentary, news, and educational purposes only. I don't own the rights to it, but fair use of 1976. So please put that disclaimer in the comment section for me if you can. And let us play this clip, guys. I guess we'll start with her.
Friday's show took an unexpected turn when Anna and Sonny's COVID test came back positive while we were on the air. Live TV, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank Vice President Harris and her incredible team for working with us to make sure everyone was safe and for still doing an interview with us under extraordinary circumstances. We never came into contact with the Vice President, nothing, and we followed all protocols and precautions to ensure her safety. Since that show ended, however, this is the update. We were all given numerous COVID tests. I mean, so many.
My nostrils are so sensitive.
It's like up your nose with a rubber hose.
Yeah.
Throughout the weekend, this was happening too, and I am thrilled to report that Sonny and Anna's Friday results turned out to be false positives, and everyone is safe, healthy, and COVID-free.
No one's got.
Okay,
It was
no
a mistake
one's
of
got
some sort.
it.
So
It was a
Brian, where
mistake
is
of
he?
some sort. So Brian,
You had
where
a
is he?
special outfit on that day.
You had
for
a
the
special
vice
outfit on that day
president
for the
and
vice president and everything.
I burned it. I burned it at home that day.
everything.
How are you holding him now?
No, I'm fine. It was just an unbelievable set of circumstances, and we found out moments before we came back on the air. And in that moment, all I could think of was that we had to keep the host safe and we had to keep the vice president safe. She could not walk out no matter what. And that led to some really awkward television that I'd like to have back if I could. But I really want to acknowledge and apologize to Sonny and Anna, because in the midst of all this chaos, they were put in this position where they had this information put out on television, and then to make it even worse, it turned out not to be true later on. And
Well, that's better if it was, but not that it was.
there was false positives. Yes, there was false positives. So it was unfortunate that mistakes were made, but I can confidently say that we had very vigorous safety protocols, that everyone was regularly tested. And I'm just so relieved that you guys are healthy, that everyone is healthy, and nobody was ever in danger.
Yeah, right. Okay. That's right. So you two kind of had a weekend where your faces were everywhere. Tell us what happened to you, Sonny, first off, when you left the table on Friday.
I mean, first, let me say there was an incredible, outpouring of love and support from so many people. And I appreciate it so much. Social media, I got hundreds, really thousands of messages, calls, text messages. It was pretty incredible. I didn't know people.
All right. Let me stop it right quick. So, I don't know if you know this, but okay, so they're saying that it was a false positive, and the producer, you heard him earlier, he offered an apology, right, to her. Sonny, in recent times, let me step out of here. I don't have the article, but I have the article here. I don't have I have the video as well. Sonny is married to a U.S. surgeon, Emmanuel Hostin. And Emmanuel, by my understanding, is Haitian. So Sonny has been, I guess, on the warpath about this because she has a husband who's Haitian, and she's taking it personal. And so she was very critical of the White House. And she said the following. I might play the video right quick of that, but I wanted to stay on this video for a second. But let me go ahead and do this, and let me say what she said. She went on describing the demonizing of Haitians during the AIDS crisis. She talked about that, how Haiti was punished by France and the world for being the first black free nation in our hemisphere and more. I think that U.S. policy towards Haiti has always been corrupt, and it doesn't have to be that way because we know that the United States can do it. There is a way to do it. There's just no will to do it. The United States and the White House has promised to bring 95,000 Afghans here, and I'm not saying they shouldn't be brought here. They shouldn't. They should be, and this is this is what she's saying, but I said they shouldn't. They should be. That is the promise of the country. But if you can send 95,000 Afghans here, why are you sending 86 Haitians back on an airplane to a country that has been devastated? Now, hold on a second. Now, let me finish playing the video.
People like me that much. So thank you.
I'm going to respond to that.
But it was really uncomfortable for my results to be released publicly before I even knew what was going on, before they were verified, before I was tested again and again. And there are real life ramifications when things like that happen. My husband is a surgeon, as everyone knows, and he was in the operating room and had to be pulled out of the operating room because, God forbid, he's operating on someone and he's COVID positive. My child's school had to be notified and she had to be pulled out. My parents had to be rushed to be tested. And my son was notified at school as well. And so these are the sorts of real life things that were happening. And for me, it was particularly triggering because not too long ago, I delivered the eulogy at my in-laws' funeral.
Sonny's COVID test.
Okay, let me stop that. Now, let me play the video while I got it up here. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Let me play the video of Sonny a few days ago, back on September 24th. And Anna Navarro, she got it too, but Anna Navarro, I can't stand her ass. She has said some stuff about Cosby in the past and as well about some different things. You know, they're on that, they believe that that whole, we are one, that coalition, you know, my black and brown coalition, when it doesn't exist. The Afghans can come here because there's an interest to bring Asians over here, Sonny. There's not an interest for black Americans in the United States. And to be honest, some of the immigrants that do come here in the United States, the black, quote unquote, the black immigrants from the different islands and so forth, they have a disdain for black Americans. Doesn't mean all of them do. But a lot of immigrants who come over here, I'll just put it in general, a lot of immigrants that come over here, they have a disdain for blacks. They're taught, especially in Asian communities, they have that, you know, they talked about that in the movie Bend It Like Beckham when the Indian, the main character who was Indian was talking about what would happen if she dated a black man or dated a black family. Definitely not her family would disown her. They have that flowing throughout those countries, through those societies. There's an anti-black rhetoric, really a black male rhetoric. They do not like the black man. But I don't believe, and honestly, I doubt the story that it was a false positive and that they had to rush him out, because what doesn't make sense is that if they do vigorous tests already, they appear on The View every day. So they would have to have known that, you know, in advance, before the vice president even got there. But I don't think that's why they pulled her. They pulled her because she was going to give Kamala Harris that work.
Yesterday, we saw horrifying footage emerging of mounted patrol people trying to corral Haitian immigrants trying to cross the Texas border to seek asylum. Now, Haiti was just ravaged by an earthquake, and their president's assassination has left the country in chaos. But the administration is still flying migrants back there. Is this beyond an immigration issue? Is this a full-blown human rights crisis? And if it is, why aren't we treating it like one?
You know, these images, they're so horrific. And I think we need to remind ourselves, these are human beings. They're not animals. They deserve our great compassion and empathy. People don't leave their homes unless they are desperate to do so. It's a powerful example, I think, as well, of why foreign assistance is so important.
Yeah.
If people have no hope where they are, they're going to move.
Yeah.
Human history is full of that. So my question to the Biden administration is, why aren't you talking about Haiti?
Yeah.
Why aren't you doing anything to help Haiti?
Yeah.
Why weren't you prepared for this? This shouldn't be a surprise, as you mentioned. An earthquake, a coup, a pandemic.
Yeah.
Of course people are leaving.
Yeah.
Why is it a shock that 15,000 people show up at the border. We got to help them where they are. And the administration should have been, I think, better prepared. And I wish they'd talk about it.
Well, I think the reason that we're not seeing more help, if I'm going to be frank about it, is because they're Haitian. I think that is the history.
Explain, please, to them.
Well, we saw it, and you and I talked about this, Whoopi. We saw it when it first came to the demonizing of Haitians when it came to the AIDS crisis.
Right.
And then we saw it continuing. It really began with the raping and pilfering of France by Haiti and the punishment of Haiti for becoming the first Black free nation in our hemisphere. And I think that U.S. policy towards Haiti has always been corrupt. And it doesn't have to be that way, because we know that the United States can do it. There is a way to do it. There's just no will to do it, because the United States and the White House has promised to bring 95,000 Afghans here. And I'm not saying they shouldn't be brought here, because they should be, right?
Why should they? Let me be clear. I'm not trying to be ugly. You're saying they should be brought here. They should be, like it's a right. Why should they be brought here? What makes them special as opposed to the homeless veterans that live on the streets here in these United States, the people that actually fought and gave their life, their blood, their sweat, their tears, their youth, their families to this country, that don't have homes, don't have jobs? Why are we not talking about that? But we're talking about other people from other nations, some of whom, let's be real, a lot of them have a disdain for America. If you hate this country so much, then your ass don't need to be here. I know we can't stop people from coming over. And no, I'm not generalizing, because I know, yes, there are people who, I'm not talking about people who honestly want to leave wherever they are and come over here and make something better of themselves and their family, participate in the American dream, the American system. Fine. I'm not talking about that. But we're putting the people, we are supposed to be a sovereign nation. Every nation has their own rights to sovereignty. And we have put that to the back burner to help other groups of people who do not like us. And Sonny, you got a taste. You were going to give Kamala Harris that work. Your AKA sister. Your ski. I know some skiwees. I know some AKAs. Yeah. You were going to talk about this. And we know Kamala would have been cackling. Because when you catch her in one of her lies, or you catch her off guard, all she does is laugh nervously and won't come up with an answer. We don't take care of ourselves, and you want to take care of other people? Every nation has a right to secure their borders. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely right, DeAndre. We're not taking care of each other. So, and let me be, I pay taxes here. I work. I have my own business. I have several businesses I run, but I also, I've done indigent defense work. I've helped others who couldn't afford lawyers. I don't mind helping people, by no means. We are supposed to help others in need. I agree with that, but we're making it a policy to do that, and we're not taking care of our own. We have no policy that helps homeless veterans. We have no policy that helps people living on the street. We have no policy helping our children. We teach our children to be robots. And a lot of people are frustrated. It's coming out. Tariq, she talked about this. Biden's remorse that people have. Yeah, that's true. You know, like I said, you went and wanted Trump out. You wanted the orange man out. And now you got Tug Benson from Hot Shots Part 2.
That is the promise of this country. But if you can bring 95,000 Afghans here, then why are you sending?
That wasn't the promise of this country. This country was not on the basis of promising immigrants to come here. This country's basis was that it would be a republic. A republic and a government unlike what other countries have seen, run by the people for the people. But of course, we know that is not the case in reality.
That has been devastating. So it's not about whether or not there's a way. It's not about that there's a pandemic. But this policy started with the Trump administration. It's called Title 42, and the Trump administration decided to ban migrants, from refugees from coming. So when people say,
no, we're not going to do that. Now listen, I'm not a Donald Trump supporter, but we're not going to blame this all on Trump. You're saying it started with Trump. You see that? Well, here's the thing. Even if it started with Trump, Trump is not the president now. So why doesn't Biden reverse it? That's one thing. Let's start with that. There have always been an animosity. I can remember as a kid, as far back as now, I remember growing up with Bill Clinton as president. And I can remember issues with Haitians coming to this country and not being treated the same as the Cubans. Remember the Cuban refugees that would come over? Remember Elian Gonzalez, and there was debate about him staying here. And I remember they sent him. Eventually he did go back, but there were people that wanted asylum for him. Well, the Haitian immigrants, I remember they would come over here, they would kick them back. Like Dave Chappelle even joked about that in his stand-up special, Killing Them Softly. So Sonny screwed up right there. Trump is the boogeyman. No, we're not going to keep blaming this on. I'm not defending Donald Trump, but you guys keep putting it on Trump like Trump is the one that created this. This stuff's been going on. Y'all act like Trump was the most racist president in history, or the only racist president, rather, as if damn Richard Nixon didn't exist. Ronald Reagan. Hell, even Lyndon Johnson was racist, but I give Lyndon Johnson credit. He actually gave black people tangibles. Lyndon Johnson helped get the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act passed. He went after the Klansmen. Hell, you're absolutely right. Woodrow Wilson. He screamed the birth of a nation in the White House in 1913. Excuse me, I believe it was 1917. No, we ain't gonna blame all this on Trump. But you see, she's going hard, and you know, her husband, who's a surgeon, he had to, because she got diagnosed with, or was diagnosed with COVID, he had to be pulled out. Her son had to be pulled out of school. I'm going to end the video right there. I'm not going to play anymore. But you see how angry and upset she is. But these people, you know, y'all, this is a problem. Y'all keep making it about Trump. No, and this is another reason why I can't get behind shows like The View or The Talk, because the quote unquote black people are put up there. They're just talking heads for the Democratic Party. And I'm pretty sure, I think Sonny would have gone off on Kamala or asked questions. And I think that they pulled her because she would have given her tough questions. And, you know, remember when Biden was asked the question and walked off? Y'all remember that? He refused to take a question on Afghanistan. Let me just play this right quick. But no, we're not going to just put this on Donald Trump. But y'all remember this? Look at this. Remember when this happened? And Joe Biden walked off. I know it's the White House.
Hotel.
Commissioner, I really think it all works. I'm not supposed to take any questions, but go ahead.
Mr. President, on Afghanistan.
I'm not going to answer Afghanistan now.
Can you say there's still an acute risk?
Okay, so there's President Biden there at FEMA headquarters in D.C.
I really think it all works. I'm not supposed to take any questions, but go ahead.
Mr. President, on Afghanistan.
I'm not going to answer Afghanistan now.
Can you say there's still an acute risk?
Okay, so there's President Biden there at FEMA headquarters in D.C.
So that was one of them, but he also ran off, I remember, in another question.
President Biden was winding down his news conference on the day of the ISIS bombing in Kabul when he decided.
No, wait a minute. I'm asking you a question. Is that accurate? Remember that? I'm being serious. No, I'm asking you a question. Because before... No, wait a minute. I'm asking you a question. Is that accurate, to the best of your knowledge?
What was in your mind as he tried to turn it back on you and repeatedly pressed you to answer his question?
Well, I usually go into those presidential press conferences or a Jen Psaki press conference with notes just in case I am challenged.
Yeah. But no, that's the stuff that went on. And then, Anna Navarro, who caught COVID, I saw Donald Trump Jr. made a reference to her. I said something about how she caught COVID and we have to, hold on, let me pull it up because she actually talked about it. And
my weight. Babe, I take up money on me because you don't want them to find out. Yeah. From TV, of course they had, and it shows you just how instant these days news travels. Also was overwhelmed by the love, mostly love. I will tell my Latino and Black Twitter, pipe down, folks. This is not a conspiracy that they brought out Sonny and me because the Latinos are like, wait, where are our girls going? And then there was this tweet from Donald Trump Jr. Apparently, he thought it was appropriate to take advantage of the false news that I had COVID to take a shot at my weight. Babe, I take a shot at my weight every day, okay? I know, unlike you, I have a mirror, and I know I have a weight issue. So he said, given the Anna Navarro news, I think this is a time to have a national conversation about COVID and obesity.
And so she goes off against him and saying that, of course, they went at Trump for saying, because, Trump has been battling obesity. And I think he actually was diagnosed with COVID. But this doesn't surprise me. These are your liberal horses at work. And so, let me just finish in fairness and play the rest of that.
Policy started with the Trump administration. It's called
That's
Title 42, and the Trump administration decided to ban migrants, from refugees from coming. So when people say, well, get in line, there is no line because of the Trump administration. And there has never been a line for Haitians. And I take this personally
because of the Trump administration. Sonny, there's never been a line for Black people, period. They used to say, if you're white, you're all right. If you're brown, get down. If you're yellow, you're mellow. You're red, you're dead. You're Black, get back. I'm trying to figure out how do you just blame Trump?
My husband is Haitian, and I have been
So
to
she
Haiti
takes a
many,
personal
many times,
issue
and
with
it is
it.
a beautiful, beautiful country with a rich culture and a beautiful people, and they should not be treated like this. And enough is enough. Well,
But you're not attacking. But here's the thing. You're blaming the Trump administration, but Donald Trump is not the president. Donald Trump is not the president, Sonny. How do you talk about Trump for, okay, he signed this act. Well, why hasn't Biden reversed it? Y'all were calling for souls to the polls, go out, get the first female black president. We want AKA, we want this, we want the first, we want the first AKA in office. You got it. What did you get out of it? You're not seeing your return for your payment. But y'all see why I don't watch The View or The Talk? Forget these shows. That's why the ratings for most of these shows are in the tank. Ellen DeGeneres' show is finally getting kicked off good. I've heard nothing but bad things about Ellen. I've always heard Ellen was a jerk. Listen to my interview with Judge Joe Brown. He said Ellen tried to fool with his wife, his then wife. Anyway, I spent time on that, but I'm going to wrap it up. But one last topic I want to talk about, and I thought this was funny. This was a FedEx employee who got canned for refusing to deliver packages. Let me just show you all the video to hear for yourselves. I guess if this were the breakfast schlub, he'd be donkey of the day. But this is asshole of the night. Let's this FedEx driver, let's pull this up. This is King Jackass. His name is Vincent Paterno. I wonder if he's related to Joe Paterno. And he actually says in the video that he would no longer deliver packages to any home that showed support. I don't know how, I guess obviously with a sign in front of the yard that showed support for Black Lives Matter, Joe Biden, or Vice President Kamala Harris. President Joe Biden or Vice President Kamala Harris. And that FedEx fired him, obviously, as a result of the video. The 39-year-old man actually posted this on TikTok. So let's play this. What's
up, TikTok? Just wanted to come on here and let all you know, if you don't have a flag in front of your house, and if you have a Joe Biden camel toe posted up in front of your house, Black Lives Matter, I will not deliver your shit. I will not deliver your shit. I will bring that back to the station. And I'll keep doing that shit. That's it, Nick.
Well, he won't have to deliver again because FedEx delivered him to the unemployment line. He was fired after this video went viral. It had over 46,000 views, and they're not hiding their racism when they come out with this stuff. So I don't know why. There's always a saying my mother once said that if you had nothing nice to say, it's best not to say it at all. And this guy basically cost himself, and I'm not saying, rightfully so, he cost himself a job. He cost himself his health insurance benefits, his dental, his vision, anything he wanted to get, his pension if they get one. I think FedEx has stuff like that available, just like UPS. I believe I don't think they just pay their employees. They can qualify and get insurance. But Vincent Paterno just basically not only cost himself a job, he probably cost himself future employment at any other company because you just went on the internet and announced that you're an egotistical, racist asshole. Now, I'm cool with people being honest, family. And Vincent is honest. I'll give him that. He doesn't hide his racism. Hey, if you don't like me, go ahead. Say how you feel. I'm glad you don't like me. And I don't like your ass either. I don't have to do business with you. Well, Cheryl, no, I don't know if he will get, he could find a job eventually, Cheryl, but remember this too. He also just didn't shit on BLM, Kamala Harris, and Joe Biden. That's LGBTQ. So, of course, he's he's shitting on them as well a little bit. So I'm sure he will actually get. He may find employment, but it may be a while. But if he's shitting on them, then he ain't gonna find employment. If he had said, so explicitly came out and said gay, he wouldn't have got it. But he's typically going on against the liberal side of it, the liberal workhorses and foxes. He'll find a job as a janitor. He'll find a job as a plumber. Let him fix the toilets. Nothing against our plumbers. Plumbers make shit move, literally. Absolutely, Voltron. We haven't learned from what Malcolm said between the liberals and the conservatives. The foxes and the wolves. I remember that. Well, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, it's a white supremacist system. He'll find a job eventually, but I don't know how long he was working at this. He's 39 years old, but think of this though, Cheryl. If you were working for that company in your 20s and you had enough to retire off of eventually, you're 39. So you're basically past the halfway point. 20 years later, all of that shit goes away. And that's true. He will, they could start a GoFundMe on his account. Oh, crap. Really, DeAndre? Drake's got another show, The White Drake. And she's not Ellen is not funny. As a comedian myself, I've never found Ellen DeGeneres to be funny, per se. I've never seen her stand-up specials. Wasn't interested in it. But the point, getting back to what I was saying, I'll talk about Ellen maybe in another show, is an old saying that I'd rather have the world think I was a fool than open my mouth and remove all doubt. This is a perfect example of it. I get what you're saying about white supremacists, but this was a foolish thing for him to do because he cost himself, employment. But they're honest about it. It's good that they're honest, obviously, because we can deal with it and know who that person is, Okay, you're a redneck. Good. It's like what old joke Eddie Griffin said. White man calls him a nigga and said, "You a fucking cracker. Come on, let's go have a drink at the bar." Man, why would you go on Fed? Why would you guys even go on the internet and do this? But I get it. He's white and he feels entitled, of course. But this is a lesson also for my fellow brothers and sisters here on YouTube. Please stay off of social media if you're going to say something. If you got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. It's like what Tariq Nasheed says when you're trying to build your money game up, like Cheryl. We gave that example of Cheryl Underwood and how she didn't take the bait with your Sharon Osbourne. And to what Tariq is saying is you make sure that your paper game is is on fleet and on point, you go ahead and save your money, protect your paper, protect your business. Because then they talked about giving Cheryl an extension. I know Cheryl has said some stuff about Cosby. And I don't watch the talk either. I don't like the real. None of these shows. We need a show for men like this. We need a show for men. I don't know what we call it. The nuts. The baguettes. I don't know what we call that show, but the man, of course it used to be the man show, but like protect your brand. Yeah, the man cave. I know they had one on BET once, but BET is white on. But we ought to have a show for men where a group of men that just talk about man issues and what's going on in the world. We need a perspective like that. Everything Black Man Review was one. They had one that the Two Live Stews did on TV One, but that was a long time ago. Absolutely right, computer robots. I fear for the black masculinity in this country as well. We were talking about that at the barbershop today. My barber was telling me that he thinks one day, we think one day, how homosexuality was a stigma. Well, now that's not the stigma. That's the thing to be. As we see that today in our TV shows, whereas now it's that to be a heterosexual and to be straight is a crime. To be heterosexual male, you're going to be demonized for it. Hollering at women. Remember the cat call video like Harvey was talking about. No, we do need it. YouTube, I'm not going to keep it on YouTube. No, YouTube is not the place to be. YouTube demonetized my channel, man. No, we need something off YouTube. No, YouTube is censoring, so they wouldn't even put a man show on there. When you just said they feminized the male show, they wouldn't put a show on this where I'm real. I'm lucky to have the subscribers that I have, but my channel was demonetized even after all the work it took to get 1,000 subscribers. Look at Sean. Sean has over 12,000 subscribers. His channel is not monetized. So that's why when we, if you can, and you see the link at the bottom, ladies and gentlemen, if you can contribute to the Cash App or the PayPal, that's why we ask you all to donate, because we want to continue to grow. Of course, I treat this as a business to support myself and family, but I also want to expand my brand. I want to be able, they got buildings here. I live in New Orleans East, Long Tongue. Let me just talk to you. There are buildings out here in this area in New Orleans East I know that would be perfect to set up, have a block of African-American businesses and also a studio. Like there's a building I've seen, the old Bell South building out here in New Orleans East. They already censor and demonetize. Out here in New Orleans East, we have vacant lots. We have vacant buildings. I know that we could put stuff out there. We could put studios. I believe a film studio could be out here. I would like to buy it if I could, but it costs money. And that's the real thing. Sadly, if you don't have, we live in a country where if you don't make six figures, you don't have multiple incomes, you ain't shit. And that's not being ugly or anything, and I'm not demonizing anyone that doesn't, but I'm just telling you how real it is. That's just the way society looks down. If you don't have money, you can't get things done. I mean, honestly, if you don't have money, how are you going to eat? Where are you going to sleep if you can't pay your rent or your mortgage? That's just reality. So support this channel, please, by donating to Cash App. Don't be like this jerk. I've seen that, Lamico. and I saw what I'm gonna do a video too. I got to do one on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah, it does, DeAndre. It has a lot of, and that's the thing. The area that's prime for development. I remember what New Orleans East was in the late 80s, like 89 to the 90s. That Plaza Mall, that off of Bullitt, you had all the strip mall there, the grocery stores, and it's now a vacant desert. It's a restaurant desert. It's a grocery store desert, despite the fact that they got Walmart. You know, Dr. Claude Anderson wanted to put some black-owned businesses out in New Orleans, and he had an idea for a whole strip that he wanted to put, and he actually faced a lot of backlash from some Negroes out here in New Orleans, and I know he did. They always kill hope. It's just, you know, they wanted to put a racetrack out here. Let me tell you guys this story about New Orleans East right quick because I got to run. But they actually wanted to put Bass Pro Shop out here in New Orleans East. And DeAndre and any of my brothers and sisters that are from New Orleans, you know New Orleans East is the perfect place to put it because we got Lake Catherine, Lake Pontchartrain. You have all of these lakes, these estuaries, these ponds and stuff that are out here. Port Pike, where you can launch and test your boats if you're Bass Pro Shop. Because Bass Pro Shop not only sells fishing equipment, they sell boats, guns, the whole nine. And do you all know that the then mayor, Mitch Landrieu, I had this from very good information, Mitch Landrieu, when he was mayor, he prevented Bass Pro Shop from coming out to New Orleans East and wanted to move them up to the French Quarter and Uptown in that area. And the problem with that is that under federal law, you cannot launch boats in the Mississippi River. He wanted to put that where the old Jackson Brewery was. So by him doing that, Bass Pro Shop killed the deal. That killed the deal for Bass Pro Shop. The closest Bass Pro Shop we got is all the way in Denham Springs, Louisiana. That's in Livingston Parish. And but if you had that out here in the East, think of the jobs that it would have brought. And our council person, she's not pushing for this stuff. Yeah, I know she's a so-called social activist and stuff, but we don't need social activism. We need economic development. Money makes the world go round. That's my activism. Put black dollars in our communities. Circle the dollar, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it. I'm not just about talk. I want to walk it. Well, Kareem hasn't been the same ever since he was Murdoch on Airplane. So I'm sorry to say that, but I remember when Kareem attacked Ice Cube last year, and Ice Cube called him out. Right. That's exactly what he wanted to do off of Aretha Castle Haley. He had a strip that he wanted to put land, and now it's being gentrified. Martin Luther King Boulevard. I actually saw this. I'm going to pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up right quick. Hold on. Somebody actually had this on apartments.com. Is this it? No. Let me see if I could find it. Please, I got to see this. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Damn it. Somebody had it on Facebook. But if you are in New Orleans, if you're in New Orleans, and I saw this on Martin Luther King Boulevard in New Orleans, they had an apartment. Now, if you know where Martin Luther King Boulevard is in New Orleans, you know that area is not the safest. And okay, here it is. So I was able to pull it up. All right. I want y'all to take a look at how much this is. This is gentrification. Okay. Shout out to Doc Assad for sharing this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at how much this cost. This apartment on 1814 Martin Luther King Boulevard in New Orleans, a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, they cut it. This was going $7,000 a month. They just cut it down, not a 6. It's nice on the inside, but just from looking at it, but you all know in Central City, Simon Boulevard, and Martin Luther King Boulevard, y'all know good and damn well how bad this area is. Let's keep it a buck. I've been down. I know exactly where this area is. What? That's that's Martin Luther King Boulevard. $6,000? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Hold on. Look at this. Wait. Hold on. Look. I'm about to run. Look. It's nice on the inside, but look at this. $6K. And I'm a realtor. I know about two. A real estate license. I don't location, and square footage. What they damn. I'm not trying to put people on black. I'm just looking. This is Martin Luther King Boulevard. Okay, just a scroll. What the hell is going on Martin Luther King Boulevard? Hold on. Look at the. Let me go back. Let me just put one more. I gotta put one more thing up. Okay. This is the crime map. This is for theft. They got assault, burglary. Y'all see that blue? And crime, I got in yes, in fairness, crime happens everywhere. Crime happens everywhere. So I'm not just gonna say it there, but That dark blue, this is like medium blue. They got more crime higher in the French Quarter. Yeah. They got people getting beat up in the French Quarter and stuff like that, getting sucker punched. Nah, but they can keep it. 6K. Nah, no thank you. All right, but look, let me wrap this up, man. Again, if you have not, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. Get the notification bell when we go live. I would like to thank all of my subscribers, including our 1,000+ that we've had that have come on to this channel. If you would like to advertise, ladies and gentlemen, you have a business, please send an email to gavin.grich1@gmail.com. If you'd like to join the Patreon, that's the Patreon link. It's the same as the channel, gboot2786. And also, check out my seasoning company, Nawny'sCreoleBlends.com, Nawny'sCreoleBlends.com. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nawny's goes great with every dish. Download and buy Video Soul. That is my latest track that I've composed. I like working on music, got new stuff coming out. And also, guys, of course, since we've gotten on down, it is now time to get on up. If you have not done so, please go ahead and stream. Gotta get on up. Get it from iTunes and Apple. And I will see you all in the next one, guys. So let us get on out and get on up. I'll holla. Peace.
Girl, come on. You gotta dance to the beat. Cause on the dance floor is where we meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on. Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on Earth, Wind, and Fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop, I'll do the body hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you achieve. And so if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll feel the groove. Get on the floor. Get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body move. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the floor, baby. Yeah, gotta get on. Come on, baby, gotta get on. Baby, feel the groove, get on.